Tales from the Spacepod is intended for mature, open-minded audiences only. If you are easily offended, I suggest you turn this wacky shit right off. Otherwise, welcome to the pod.
Alright, you sound good too. Fuck it. Alright.
Yeah.
Fuck it all. And Lyle sounds great. Fuck this. We sound good.
Hey, it's good to hear your voice, dude.
I know. It's
back from the dead.
I do not like missing a single week. I don't remember the last time we missed 2 weeks in a row.
I don't think it's ever been done.
It's probably been since the first year. We used to miss a lot of weeks. But,
alcohol got the best of us then.
Yeah. And we weren't trying quite as hard. Well, I think we were trying. We were certainly more into it. We were really excited about it. It was a fun and new thing, but we hadn't set up Skype yet. So if somebody was doing something, we just canceled the whole shenanigans.
Sure.
You know,
We're all in the studio, too.
Yeah, that's true.
I've turned a couple of people onto the podcast since you've been gone, Ron. Since you've been gone.
Oh, yeah?
And I always seem to I want to send them to like a specific episode, you know, and I'm always like, what's the great episode to send someone to where they can get, you know, the gist.
Yeah, sure.
The broad, sticky strokes, if you will. And I always end up sending them 200 because, you know, they kind of get a little recap. And
That's a good idea, actually, yeah.
And it tends to work, but every time I do it, you can't stream it on Stitcher anymore. It comes right off the Boron.
Oh, yeah.
So every time I do it, I send them a link, and I find myself listening to like the first hour of that podcast every fucking time.
Good times.
It just makes me miss you guys.
Yeah, that was a fun episode. If I remember right, we were originally going to end it on the 200, yeah?
We were playing like we had talked about it. There was some...
At one point, it was a real thing, and then we knew that we weren't gonna.
Yeah.
But then, yeah, that's right. We were fucking with our audience.
Well, it was talked about.
It was ballyhooed, as the kids say.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody had projects going on. It was one of those things. Everybody's overwhelmed and kind of need a hiatus, I guess, right?
That's true. Well, first things first, let's get the tragic stuff out of the way. Ladies and gentlemen, Leslie Nielsen has died. Chris, I think you have the details on this, right?
It just happened. It really came out of nowhere from you guys.
Fucking hilarious. About, I don't know, 2 hours ago, we got a Spacepod Facebook business group message. We just kind of keep adding to it. And it's all four of us and Wound Effigy. Mm-hmm. I think it's just the five of us, yes?
Yeah.
We haven't included anybody else. And we shoot the shit. We talk about future guests. We share goofy stories, wacky shit. Well, Chris got on there and says, these wacky deaths, man, they're getting out of hand. Leslie Nielsen just fucking died. And for a split second, I was like, oh, shit. Wait a minute. He died like 5 years ago.
Not the first fucking time I've done that, sadly. Leandra, who sits across from me, you know, it was towards the end of our day, and she's like, holy shit, Leslie Nielsen died. I could tell she's like reading the news.
Yeah.
I can only see her face. I don't see what's on her screen. I'm like, oh, fuck.
You just go straight to the messages.
First thing I did was I pulled up Google. I typed Leslie Nielsen, and I see this lovely little, you know, Leslie Nielsen dead at so-and-so. And I'm like, okay, I didn't bother to recheck the date or anything.
Sure.
So I'm like, guys, dudes.
This just in. Naked Gun. Never going to watch it the same.
What about that one, the spoof of Top Gun?
Hot Shots.
Hot Shots, yeah.
Was he? I don't think he was in that.
Are you sure? I think he was. I think he was one of the generals.
I think that's...
Maybe?
Oh,
Am I
what's
wrong?
his kisser? Is it Jeff Bridges' dad?
Remember Charlie Sheen's in it. Thinning.
Yeah, that's true.
I could be wrong about that.
No.
Oh, isn't that the Jeff and Bo Bridges' dad? That goofy guy?
I don't know.
What the fuck is his name? Anyway. So, yes, I am getting over
sipping on gin and juice.
I'm getting over probably the worst flu I've had since I was a kid. It was a doozy. I was pretty much in bed for 2 weeks. Like, I couldn't even pretend to work on anything. And you guys know me, I don't sit still. No. But I was just down and out. It sucked ass. And I'm still kind of getting over it. I got this a bronchitis cough that I'm doing everything in my power to fight. Because once it starts, it's game on. So I'm sipping a shitload of licorice root and peppermint tea. Which I squoze myself. Yeah, go ahead.
I said that bronchitis ain't no joke.
I always thought bronchitis sounded like a dinosaur.
Bronchiolitis.
Mm-hmm. It's my least favorite dinosaur, and it needs to get the fuck out of my bronchial tubes. I think it's just one of those things where you spend 2 weeks coughing, that even once you don't need to cough, you just irritated the fuck out of your lungs and your throat.
Yeah.
I learned that accidentally, that's how that works. I was trying to get out, I think I was trying to get out of school. And I was like in high school, junior high, and I just started coughing. Started coughing in the morning, and then I was like, well, I got this teacher a couple more periods, and I'll just keep up to coughing. Well, by the time I got to that third period, I couldn't stop coughing. Like, I had given myself bronchial irritation.
Oh, fuck.
And I was like, wow, that's interesting. Note for future. And henceforth, I always really strove to not cough unless you really had to. Like a productive cough, if you're coughing up gunk, you need to cough, at least every now and again. If it's dry, you have zero reason to cough. You are only irritating your lungs and your... So I knew that from fucking up my own lungs. And so I'm usually really good at just suppressing a cough. It's kind of a mental exercise. It's like fight that urge to cough because you know you don't need to. And you know it's only going to make it worse, and yet it's like your fucking throat's still, and you cough, 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 cough. Oh, it's irritation. What do we got here, Chris?
You know what? Let's save it for when we're ready to dive.
Oh, okay. I'll get back in there.
Yeah.
Looks like... Shit, let's add John Mark to the occasion. Greetings. Are you driving, or are you home safe?
Home safe.
Good.
Nice.
What a change.
Oh no, did I get knocked off?
No, you're there. I just had to stop and take another... I'm going to be sipping on my hot tea all night.
Oh, gotcha.
No way around it. But one good thing that came out of being sick is I finally started to watch Lost. Now, zero spoilers if any of you have seen it, but I never saw one single episode of Lost. I was aware of it. And
What?
I never watched.
Well, it was one of those times in my life, what was it, 2004, 2005? I was insanely busy I was doing nothing but filmmaking projects. And you think I'm busy now. When you were doing filmmaking projects, too busy scrogging, is that what you said?
Yeah, too busy scrogging in the
a few
org.
years earlier. I was aware of it. I mean, it was hard to not be aware of it. And even going back to MySpace, I remember people posting about it, but I just, I never gave a shit because I never got into it. I do remember when it ended. I remember seeing posts about how it ended, but thankfully I don't really recall. But it's a really well done show. And I mean, that sounds idiotic to say, I guess, because it was one of the biggest fucking shows of the last 10, 15 years. But, there's a lot of long running shows that suck ass. But this one is great so far, and I'm almost done with it. I think I'm halfway through season 5. I think there's 6 seasons.
I made it through halfway too. Those seasons were extraordinarily long.
The first 2 or 3 are really long. Yeah, it's not like Walking Dead where you get 8 episodes. The first couple seasons were like almost 30 episodes or some shit, but like old time TV.
Yeah.
But Dollface came to visit me for a bit in my throes of illness, and she said, if you're looking for something to watch, you should watch Lost. And I'm like, Leah got into that, and she got bored with it halfway through. And it's like, I know there's like a million episodes. I didn't want to get into something that big. And she played the first episode, and then she fell asleep on the couch. And when she woke up, I think I was like halfway through the first season. It was like Battlestar Galactica on Portlandia. It's just like one more. Let's just do one more, baby. Then we'll go to work. But yeah, it's I think it's fucking great. And it's such a different pacing when you're watching something Netflix style versus over years and years. It's a completely different thing. So I could see how watching it in real time, people might get frustrated with it. It's like, oh, come on, the back and the forth and the back flashes and the forward flashes and the time and whatnot and the clocks and what have you. But I loved it. I think it's a great plot device, and I don't want to really give anything away because they don't even get to that part until well into the show. You don't know what the fuck's going on, and every time you think you're learning about what's going on, you don't really end up learning. They pull back further, and you're like, oh, well, that wasn't really what's going on. What the fuck is going on?
Do you know how it ends? Has it been spoiled?
It was kind of, like I said, it was kind of spoiled because it was such a big deal when it ended. So I remember seeing images of the last show, but I don't really remember. And I'm trying to not think about it too hard because if I really thought of it too hard, it'd probably come back to me.
Yep.
So it's kind of the whole thing has been a new phenomenon for me, and I highly recommend it for any of you. I can't be part of a large percentage of people that never saw Lost, not a single episode. But I'm sure there's plenty of you out there. I highly recommend it. It has not, I don't think it's jumped the shark at all. I think that the crazy twists and turns have only been, I think it's quality shit.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Lob.
No, I was going to say I'm with you. I've never watched it.
Well, do you, again, I don't want to give any spoilers away, but some of it gets really X-Filesy and almost Twin Peaksy in spots, but it jumps around. It's like several of all the best shows wrapped into one, I think. So far, there's a season and a half to go, so who knows? Maybe I'll fall out of love with it. But right now, I'm ass deep and really digging it.
I'm doing the same thing with Breaking Bad. I've been really enjoying that. I'm on the second to last season now.
Now, is this the first time you'd seen Breaking Bad?
It is, and I got to be honest, I really struggled to want to watch it. Not because I don't like it, it's just so depressing. It's a very dark show.
It's a grim show to marathon, because you watch 4 or 5 of those in a row, you're just like, fuck. And how does I want to know how the tourism board of New Mexico feels about this, because does it make you want to avoid that state like the plague? Like, it just seems like the most dangerous place in the world, and yet it's got to be bringing thousands and thousands of people to some of those locations,
Yeah.
If they're really, maybe they weren't even shot there, but some of them had to have been.
No, it was shot in New Mexico.
Looked like it, yeah.
I vacillate between that show and Archer. Have you watched Archer?
Oh yeah, Archer's classic stuff. I'm all caught up on Archer.
Shit, man, that show's been killing me, especially late at night.
It gets crazier and crazier and crazier. That's one of those shows where they're like, wow, they really just said that. and it's like, okay, they got away with that, so what are they going to do next season? And it's one of those shows where you got to watch to see what fucking crazy shit they're going to get away with, because that shit is on TV. I guess nothing should be surprising anymore.
I did see a couple of movies in the theater over the last few weeks too. I wanted to
let's get caught up before we get on to
Spacepod reviews. I saw The Forest. You guys seen the previews for this?
Yeah, Leah saw it. She said it was scary as shit.
Right. It's got the girl from it's Marjorie Tyrell from Game of Thrones.
Mm-hmm.
Her name.
That cute little chipmunk face.
Yeah, the cute
Natalie Dormer.
That's the one. I hated this movie. It was really bad. It wasn't scary at all for me. I like the premise. I love these Japanese lore premises. Like the premise is basically there's a forest that the elderly or people that want to kill themselves go into in Japan, and they never come out of it. Obviously,
isn't that based on a true story?
But no, that's true. That's a place. Yeah. It's near Mount. What's that fucking mountain?
Mount Suicide.
The big one in Japan, right?
By that River Times, right? That runs
it's real. It's real. You go in, the people go in there and commit suicide all the time. Like,
they take like strings and shit, and you basically follow the strings, and you'll find like an old decrepit tent, or something like that. They go in there and like annually, like at the end of the year, and basically pull out
clean it out.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah, it's over a lot of that in the movie, actually.
A documentary on that would be pretty fucking amazing.
There is one, I'm pretty sure. I can't remember of the mountain. It translates to death, I think.
I think the best part about this movie was you get to see Natalie Dormer play 2 people.
I thought you were going to say naked. I guess we've already seen that, though, haven't we?
Yeah, Game of Thrones has that covered.
Yeah.
Or uncovered, as they might say.
Guys, I also saw The Revenant.
Oh, the raping it?
The raping it. Now, I got to be honest. I knew there wasn't any bear rape.
Sure.
But I kind of wished there would have been, because the fucking mauling, it's bad. I mean, there's rounds. There are rounds.
I was flipping through a movie magazine, and it was like the special effects section, and I saw how he looked, how they dressed him up, and I was like, ooh, that's got to be a rough scene. Because that was just... They were applying the makeup, and they weren't even done, and it was like, ooh. So, yeah, it looks rough.
Yeah.
I hear it's all around a really brutal fucking film.
It truly is, and I didn't like it, but it's not because I didn't think it was a great movie.
Just hard to watch.
I don't think I could watch it again. And I like brutality and stuff. I like all that stuff, but it was tough. Like to watch someone, because it's a revenge story, And I'm going to give a very small spoiler away. I think it's in the synopsis, but his son's killed in front of him.
Yeah, that is in the trailer.
Part of the trailer.
Yeah. And so, as he's on his basically deathbed, he witnesses this, and to see like a person react to that while they're on their deathbed, it was gruesome. It was really tough to watch.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing with revenge flicks. You have to get past a lot of shit. Whether it's Funny Games or I Spit on Your Grave, Last House on the Left. You got to get past all that awful stuff to enjoy the comeuppance, and it's coming, but it's just
Martyrs.
wait,
there's no revenge.
Just get to it. Which one?
Martyrs.
Haven't seen that.
The one.
God.
I thought Tom Hardy was really brilliant in this movie, though. Every time I see him, I don't recognize him.
I know. He's got one of those faces that's just
well,
like...
Not only that, his performance and like the way they dress him up. You know what I mean? He's got weird facial hair in this, and he's got an accent. He doesn't sound like Tom Hardy. It's just... I mean, what does Tom Hardy sound like?
Perhaps you're wondering why a bear would rape a man.
It was good. Here's the thing. I hope you do see it. And when you do see it, I just want you to think of one thing when you're watching it, from my review. There are so many transitional shots of this three-quarter skyline looking up. It almost became... don't get me wrong. It's the most gorgeous thing you're ever going to see. But every transition is basically the camera on the ground looking up at trees. I'm not fucking kidding. Sometimes there's two transitions. Trees, and then more trees.
Well, I suppose that would give you the feeling of isolation.
Yeah,
you were in the middle.
Made a short movie like that one time.
Anyways, worth a watch, hard to watch.
Yeah, well, I'm definitely going to check it out. We did go see Hateful Eight, and I recommend that. It's over 3 hours, and I honestly didn't think that it felt like 3 hours. I thought it felt like it felt like a play, and I'm sure there are other people saying that it's one of these really claustrophobic, not many locations, not too many characters. It's Tarantino's dialogue at a minimum. It's not like that really snappy back and forth dialogue. It's more of a realistic dialogue, but it's still good Tarantino dialogue. But it's his characters. It's like there's a lot of memorable characters in this, and they're all snowed in together for the bulk of the film. And yeah, I really liked it. I'm looking forward to watching it again.
You were the first person to say it. I've heard 4 people tell me they hated it now. 4.
Really?
Yeah, I've heard all kinds of mixed things about that movie.
Well, I guess I could see... I mean, it's not an action movie. And it's not even really... It doesn't even really feel like a Western. Now, seeing that it's set in the West and it's from Tarantino, you'd probably think that it was those two things. It's not. It's not Tarantino doing spaghetti westerns, It's
not Django Part 2.
No, it's a completely different thing. And, there's some violence, but not Tarantino level. So it's more about characters and... I don't know what it's about, actually. But I highly recommend it.
You need to watch it again.
Yeah, well, I definitely do, now that I know how it ends. Because it's like, you keep thinking that it's going somewhere, and it doesn't go that one place. Not that it doesn't go anywhere, it's just... It unfolds differently than what you think. Anyway, I recommend that. And one more entertainment note. Did any of you guys get a chance to see the new X-Files yet?
No, but I have some stuff on that.
Ooh, interesting.
To make it. Well, I'm super excited about it, and I know that the first episode is online. You can stream it for free, which I think we should all fucking do.
Two now.
Oh my god, that's a fact. I love it. Now I haven't, I've only heard a couple of reviews.
I'm acquiring those as we speak.
Completely legally.
Well, I was reading up on it today, and I was getting super jazzed, and I came across this article about people that have been in the X-Files that you wouldn't fucking believe. Basically, people that are super famous now that maybe had a small role in the X-Files that would just blow your mind.
Yeah.
So I put together a little 10-question quiz here.
Ooh.
Super fast, I thought I'd test your guys' X-Files knowledge.
I bet I'll do pretty good. I'm going through those old episodes now. And, more often than not, the people that you notice that turned into something later ended up on Breaking Bad, because a lot of those episodes were written by Vince Gilligan.
Don't say much else there, because I've got a whole Breaking Bad little part.
Okay, I won't.
Okay.
I just will say, for the new X-Files, this one episode, they basically mention almost every main topic that we've ever discussed on the show. So I'm looking forward to more episodes. I like how they set the whole season up. That's basically what the first half. We haven't seen the second half. That just came out tonight. So,
Sure.
But I'm balls deep already. Scully looks weird though, man. It's
Well, she's aged a little bit. But,
it's not. I think she must have work done, because her face.
I think so too, dude.
Her face looks so different. It's like it's almost off-putting at first. like Mulder looks older.
You do not like plastic surgery. I was listening to a back episode where you were ragging on Renee Zellweger. Every time someone's face changes, you get pretty.
I'm not
I
sure
just don't understand why beautiful people want to change their face. Now, in Hollywood, it's obvious. They have to. They're going to do it because high def and all that shit, and they worry about it. But when it changes the look, I mean, if a tiny bit of plastic surgery can really make a good difference on someone's face, but they go too far and they become somebody else. And it's off-putting when you are supposed to be looking at a character that you know and love over the past 15, 20 years, and they don't look like themselves. It's off-putting. And Renee Zellweger is a perfect example of that. Too far, sir. She's not the same fucking person, and she was adorable. She was one of the cutest fucking people on the planet. And it's not that she looks ugly now. She's not that person anymore. That adorable person is dead.
As you explained that in the podcast, the last episode, I could literally hear your heart breaking. As you're like, she was so adorable. What happened to her?
She was probably one of my biggest celebrity crushes, if I'm being honest.
Wait, who was that?
Renee Zellweger.
Oh, yeah,
Me, Myself, and Irene, I fell hard in love with her. I thought she was fucking adorable.
All right, you guys.
Texas Chainsaw Massacre Part 4, with Matthew McConaughey.
Mm-hmm.
Adorable.
Oh, that's right. That's a bizarre movie.
Specifically her inside.
It really is.
Yeah.
All right, you guys want to do this real fast? This little quiz?
Oh, sure.
You ready? Okay, cool. Lyle, here's what we're going to do. Lyle, you're going to go first. John Mark, you're going to go second. And Ron, since you're fresh off of rewatch here, I'm going to make you go last.
That's good. I think we're all going to do pretty good.
We'll see. Some of these surprised me, and now this show was on when I was like 9, 10, and I watched it then, so but now I rewatched some of it, so some of these were a big surprise for me.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm going to read you 3 names in each question, and you're going to tell me which one was an extra or had a small role in the X-Files.
Okay.
All right. 1, Jane Lynch, Rosie O'Donnell, or Janine Garofalo. Garofalo, I can never say her name.
Mm-hmm.
Lyle?
I'm going to go with Rosie.
You can go with Rosie O'Donnell. Okay. John Mark?
I'm really tempted to say Janine Garofalo, but I'll go with Rosie O'Donnell as well.
Okay. Ronster?
Boy, I don't remember Rosie, but I'm not through all the episodes yet. I'm going to go
all 3.
I'm going to go with Jane Lynch.
You're going with Jane Lynch. All right. You notice that they were all lesbians?
Mm.
There's
I
a
did
theme
not
to each
notice
one.
that.
There's a theme.
There always is.
Spoiler right there.
All right. 2, The Rock.
Wait,
Dolph
is
Lundgren.
Janine Garofalo's a lesbian? I didn't know that.
I may be making assumptions.
She might be.
You know what? We'll talk about it after the
Okay.
I don't want to spoil it for you, but yeah, we'll talk about it after the show.
Okay.
It'll break your heart even a little bit more.
Oh, wow. The Rock. Dolph Lundgren or Danny Trejo.
Oh, boy.
Lyle?
Maybe I won't do so good with these.
Lundgren, okay. John Mark?
I'm going to say Danny Trejo.
Ron?
He's been in everything.
Yeah, I'm leaning toward Danny Trejo as well, but that might be Breaking Bad pulling me in that direction because I don't know if I remember seeing him or not. But yeah, I'll go with that.
I'm going to give you guys the answers as we go along on this one. I think it might be more fun. The correct answer on that was indeed Danny Trejo.
Oh, nice.
John Mark and Ron got a point apiece on that. And the first one was Jane Lynch.
Oh, all right, 2 for 2.
She was in season 9, episode 5.
Well, I haven't even gotten to that one yet.
And let's see, Danny Trejo was in season 8, episode 6.
Hmm.
Okay, this is the Charlie's Angels theme.
Okay.
Who was in the X-Files? Cameron Diaz, Lucy Liu, Drew Barrymore, or all of the above?
Tricky.
Lyle?
Tricky Dicky.
I'm going to go with Drew.
You gonna
Right.
go?
Yeah.
John Mark?
I don't know. Lucy Liu.
Okay. Ronster?
I'm feeling Lucy Liu too. It's either Lucy Liu or all 3 because I'm pretty. Yeah, I'm going. Fuck it, I'm gonna go all. Nah, I'll go Lucy Liu.
Going Lucy Liu. Are you sure, Ron?
Yeah, I'm sure.
She's the squarest of the 3 for certain. Get it square.
What does that
Never
mean?
mind.
Is that a racist joke?
No, it's because you always pick the dumb square ones. All right. The correct answer was Lucy Liu.
Oh, nice.
Mark and Ron got that.
By the way, the last couple have been guesses. These are tripping me up a little harder than I thought.
Good. All right. 4. Seth Green, Carrot Top, or Elijah Wood?
Oh, it's Seth Green.
You're going with Seth Green.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
John Mark?
Well, Lyle is so positive. I'm going to go with that, too.
Hey, I've lost every one, so
Yeah, you just got to think of one right. Yes.
you know.
Keep that in mind.
Well, it seems like Carrot Top was in an X-Files. I know for sure, though, that Seth Green was.
So you're going with Seth Green?
Yeah.
Okay. You're all correct. Boom, boom, boom. Look at that.
That was one of the early ones.
Yes, it was season 1, episode 2.
I think it was supposed to be right outside of Area 51, but they said it. It was weird when the X-Files first got going. They were afraid to actually talk about Area 51, so they called it something else, and it was instead of Nevada, it was outside Idaho or something weird.
Yeah. Well, it was all based around the Pacific Northwest.
Yeah.
I thought a little bit anyway.
Yeah, but eventually they ended up, getting into Area 51, and they go to the little alien in Rachel, Nevada. But
yes, sir.
Anywho.
Okay, number 5 is the Breaking Bad theme. Now, have we all seen the show?
Nope.
Okay, this will be a little tough for you then, sir.
Yeah.
Okay, so Aaron Paul, Bryan Cranston, or Dean Norris, who's the DEA agent brother, or all of the above.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to go out on a limb here saying that I've never seen the show.
Uh-huh.
And do not know any of these characters or actors. And I'm going to go with C.
All of the above.
Mm-hmm.
Smart answer. John Mark?
Right?
I'm going to say all of the above.
Okay. Ronster?
I know A and C are there. I feel like I have seen Aaron Paul. So I, too, will go C.
You are all correct. All 3 of those actors make appearances. I fucking love that. I thought that was
Yeah. But the Bryan Cranston one is one of the most well-known episodes, the Drive episode, where if they drop below, it's kind of like, I think they even make a joke about Speed, the movie Speed, where if they drop below 75 miles per hour, the alien in the dude's brain will explode. Great episode.
Now, this one I think might be a little more challenging. Number 6, Kate Blanchett, Juliette Lewis, or Jodie Foster?
Jodie Foster.
Well, let's go with Jodie Foster. John Mark?
I really wanted to say Kate Blanchett, but I'm going to not say Kate Blanchett and say Juliette Lewis instead.
You're going Juliette Lewis.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I'm leaning toward Juliette Lewis as well. And for some reason, I was thinking she might have even been the girl that what's his kisser was making out with outside of the Area 51. But no, that might be wrong. But I'm going to go with Juliette Lewis. I seem to remember her on there.
The correct answer was indeed Jodie Foster.
Really?
Now, Jodie Foster she plays an interesting role. She plays a tattoo that comes to life and talks to people.
What?
Yeah,
In
one of the later episodes.
Season 4, episode 13.
What?
Jodie Foster plays a talking tattoo.
Oh, okay, I see. So you don't see Jodie Foster.
Well, she gives a performance, though.
Yeah, I gotcha.
Let's see. Lyle got
nice
that correct. And Ron got that correct.
No, I went with Juliette Lewis.
Oh, I'm sorry, you did. That's right. All right, number 7. Jack Black, Zach Galifianakis, or Robin Williams?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that would be actually pretty awesome if Robin Williams. It was Jack Black.
You go with Jack Black.
Robin Williams should have played Mork. Mulder goes down this rabbit hole and finds fucking Mork in his egg spaceship.
John Mark?
Oh, it'd be so awesome.
God, did I have a dream that I saw something, or did I see something that it's like Mork and Mindy, some weird thing, and they were older, and holy shit, you guys.
Mork
Anyways,
and Mindy, the senior
Jack
years?
Black.
Going Jack Black.
Yeah.
Monster?
Yeah, Jack Black for sure.
You are all correct. Can't fool you
There was
guys.
some other famous dude in that episode, too. I can't remember. It was
Was this Seth Green?
It was his buddy. Was that the one with Seth Green? Maybe it was.
It wasn't, no, because Jack Black was in season 3, episode 3, and Seth Green was in season 1.
Yeah, I thought Seth was pretty early on, but...
All right, got a couple more here for you. Question 8 here. Burt Reynolds, Tom Selleck, Robert Redford.
Ooh.
Well, I don't know that one at all.
Sorry, Lyle first.
Yeah. Yeah, go Lau. What do you think?
Tom Selleck, sure.
You're going Tom Selleck, okay. John Mark?
Magnum PI, that shit.
Robert Redford. I'll say Robert Redford.
Okay. Ronster?
Boy, I don't remember any of the... What was the third one?
Robert Redford.
I'm sorry, what was...
Burt Reynolds, Tom Selleck.
Burt Reynolds. I'm going to go Tom Selleck, too.
The correct answer was actually Burt Reynolds, guys.
Really?
Season 9, episode 13.
Oh, these later seasons fuck with me because I wasn't watching them as passionately as I was the early ones in the 90s, and now I haven't got caught up to them
watching
yet.
around season 5 or something.
Yeah, well, interesting. Looking forward to these cameos.
Now, anyone could technically win this still. Lyle's got 4 points, John Mark's got 5, and Ronster has 6.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, this one's a Ryan's theme. Ryan Gosling,
Oh, okay.
Ryan Reynolds, or Meg Ryan?
Oh, boy.
Lyle?
I'm gonna go Meg Ryan.
Going Meg. Once you go Meg.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know what that means, apparently. John Mark?
I want to say Meg Ryan as well.
Okay. Ronster?
Meg Ryan on the X-Files. Doesn't feel right to me.
She's been on sci-fi. All right.
Yeah. I feel like Ryan Reynolds.
Burt Reynolds doesn't feel right either, though, so...
I feel like I've seen Ryan Reynolds in a lot of weird little TV shows over the years. I'll go with Ryan Reynolds.
You are correct, sir. It was indeed Ryan Reynolds. And this was early on, season 3. So this is a very young and weird Ryan Reynolds when you see this still shot of his face.
Oh, yes. I remember. Now, it was in the back of my brain, and now it's in the front of my brain. I do remember that episode. It's fun watching those episodes for that reason alone.
Yeah.
Even if you've never seen Breaking Bad, because like I said, a lot of these people ended up on Breaking Bad. And you're like, oh, my, look at him. Look at the little Breaking Bad guy. Jeez,
you're going to make meth someday. Nah.
Well, it's funny because they're probably struggling actors at that time. Just like, oh my God, I got on the X-Files. Like, just wait, bitch. You're going to be in one of the most important TV shows of all time.
All right, last one here. Number 10. Ben Affleck, George Clooney, or Shia LaBeouf?
Oh, really?
Lyle.
I'm going with the booster.
When in doubt.
It's yes.
All right, John Mark?
I'm guessing.
God, those are all... I'm going to go with Shia LaBeouf as well.
Interesting, okay.
Shia the beef.
Back when he was almost too cute
Just do
to tolerate, and you wanted to punch him in his stupid curly Q face. Yeah, I got to go with the Boosh.
You were all fucking right. Of course.
He was really young.
Yeah, he was really tiny in that, apparently. Well, I saw the picture. He looked weird. Let's see. That puts
Kids look so fucking weird compared to their adult halves.
Ron, you won with 8 points. 80%, man. Not bad at all.
Nice. I felt like I would do pretty well.
John Mark and Lyle got 5 a pop.
Okay.
Or 6 a pop. I'm sorry. I didn't add that last point in there for you. Boom.
Not bad at all.
Bad.
Well, let's get moving on. That was fun. We should do more random shit like that. You know, when we do finally get around to doing our sideshow, which I don't think we've named yet, Spacepod at the movies or something, we'll have to do more shit like that. It'll be pretty fun.
Yeah.
Let's get to tonight's Monster of the Week. Now, this comes from a volcano island that looks it's like something out of the Dark Tower series. In fact, let me scroll down and just send you the picture here. This looks like a fucking painting, but I assure you it is real. Oh, by the way, did you guys see the Dark Tower news?
Yes, I have some. Yes,
Idris Elba. Confirmed,
I'm okay with
right?
that.
Confirmed to be Roland the Gunslinger. I think he'd make a great Roland. What do you guys think? Chris, you like it? John Mark, what do you think?
Yeah, I don't have a problem with it at all.
For those of you who don't know the dude's name, he's the black dude in Prometheus. Also stars in Luther, which Leah loves, and every time I see her watching it, I kind of get into it. I'll have to put that one on my list because it looks really good. Dude's pretty fucking intense in it, but I actually know Idris Elba best from his stint on The Office. He came in when Michael quit to start his own paper company. It was like the major storyline in the 5th season, I think. Hilarious. It's all on Netflix. Watch that entire cycle. It's golden stuff. In fact, it starts with the Golden Ticket episode. But anyway, I know every single episode of The Office. So this picture you are looking at is the Balls Pyramid. Isn't that amazing, that fucking picture?
That's incredible.
Now, for such a scary-looking place, we probably could have come up with a better name than Balls Pyramid. But anyway, now, if that island alone doesn't make your skin crawl, what was recently discovered to be living on it probably will. So the island is what's left of an old volcano that emerged from the sea about 7 million years ago. And a British naval officer named Ball was the first European to probably go a peeing on it in the 1700s. Now, it sits off the coast of Australia. In the South Pacific. It's extremely narrow, and it's as tall as it looks. It's like almost 2,000 feet tall. Wow. And it just sits out there like a fucking jagged tooth of the devil. There's not much vegetation on that whole thing. I mean, it basically is a giant rock, but there is little tiny bits of shrubs and roots. And 225 feet up the rock wall was a tiny shrub, and a couple explorers recently lifted the lower branches of that shrub and found something large, black, and shiny burrowing into the crusty soil below it.
Sounds like a text you get from me, guys. Large, black, and shiny.
Long, black, and ready to burrow. Well, being dipshit explorers, they immediately go digging for it, and they were able to grab like one of the giant critters, and upon inspecting it, they realized they're seeing something that was thought to be long extinct. So, take a look at this image.
Am I going to hate this?
Well,
yes. I've heard this lately.
Hang on a second. Somebody just texted me. Hi, Ron. I think John Mark just saw my penis.
Okay.
John Mark, did you get a text from someone's penis?
No, that was Adam Eagle. He was in the bathroom, and I didn't know he was in there, and so I pushed the door open a little bit.
Oh. Why don't I have Adam's name saved in my phone? Maybe he changed his number since we last spoke. Anyway, what a strange text.
You got to do it like Adam Eagle would.
I think I just showed John Mark my penis. Oh, boy. Oh, my God. Well, so
It's not
embarrassing.
easy being green.
Well, it's so embarrassing. I'm sorry, but I do a mean fucking Adam Eagle, right? Okay, take a look at that picture.
Oh, God, what is that?
Yeah. Sleep well tonight, my friends. This is what is known as a Lord Howe stick insect, or the tree lobster, which makes me want to vomit.
Ow.
It's as big as your hand, yet shiny black. It's like, it looks like a giant bullet ant on steroids or some shit. So they actually dug deeper and found more of these tree lobsters, and apparently some explorers had climbed Ball's Pyramid and claimed to have seen dead tree lobsters, but none living, and this was like back in the 60s. So the discovery is pretty big news. And the more recent climbers discovered feces that looked like it could be from the bug, but because it was nocturnal, they waited until it got dark, and then scaled up the fucking rock with flashlights, hovering over the fucking edge. I mean, you're rock climbing. You are scaling up this devil's tooth of a rock sticking out of the middle of the fucking ocean in the dark, digging through these bushes looking for these things. And oh, by the way, over shark infested waters, where if they fell they would probably end up in the fucking water.
No bigs.
These guys are crazy. Anyways, that's where they discovered this little monster, now living out in the middle of nowhere. They really don't know how they got there, why they thrived there, and whether or not they can be released into the wild. But that's what they're trying to do. The Lord Howe stick bug. Creepy, huh?
I don't like it.
Fascinating, though. That there's this is right out of fiction. That there's an island out in the middle of nowhere with what we thought to be extinct animals thriving.
Like
and we just discovered this. There could be anything out there. Anyways, some really interesting space news to get to before we move on. First, this one's pretty big news, and it's kind of a head-scratcher. Folks, we may have a new planet in our own goddamn solar system. Did you guys see this fucking story?
Yeah.
Astronomers at Caltech have announced the possible discovery of a giant new planet in the far reaches of our own solar system. At the moment, they're calling it Planet 9, which, for some reason, I thought they made Pluto a planet again. I guess I dreamt that, huh?
Huh.
I mean, I know it's called a dwarf planet, but I thought that we let it back into our reindeer games.
They did.
Givers.
So why are they calling this the 9th planet? What a bitch slap to Pluto. Should it be Planet 10 or Planet X? Which we'll talk about in a minute, but who'd win in a fight? Is that what you said?
Yeah.
Between who? Pluto and...
Pluto every time.
I've always been on Pluto.
The dwarf planets always have to fight harder because they've had to earn it. Anywho, when I read this, I was like, how the fuck do you miss a planet in our own solar system all this time? Well, for one, it's a ways out there. This is from National Geographic. It says, the New World was discovered by studying the odd orbits of objects found in the Kuiper Belt using mathematical models.
That sounds racist as hell.
I think it's Kuiper. It might be Kuiper. It's Kuiper.
No, it's Kuiper.
Yeah. Using mathematical models, researchers realized that the presence of a large, previously unknown planet seemingly solved the riddle of these objects, the way they are behaving in space. This new planet, they say, should be around 3 times larger than Earth and have a 20,000-year orbit around the sun. 20,000, that's basically a 20,000-year year, son.
Damn, Gina.
Placing it far beyond even Pluto in our own solar system. How crazy would it be to find life in our own backyard after all this time? Like, we used to think that Mars was the key to life in our own solar system. Then we developed a rocket and flew over it and realized it's a fucking desert, rocky wasteland. But way out there may be the real key. I mean, this could be a planet of watchers spying on us from the dark, murky depths of the farthest reaches of the sun. Ugh. Again, making some good science fiction shit. But that far out, it doesn't get much sun, obviously, so that's making it hard to nail down the exact spot where she's hiding. And, of course, it's already drumming up new talk of the fabled Planet X. I don't know if we ever talked about Planet X in great detail, but this is a pretty well-known topic in the paranormal field, sometimes referred to as Nibiru. This is a wacky conspiracy theory right here. Supposedly it started with this... Well, partially started with this woman that claimed to be getting messages from the aliens via her implanted microchip. That a planet... The idea is that a planet-sized space object was on a collision course with wackiness and planet Earth, and it was going to signal the end of man's reign. Now, according to the believers of Nibiru, I believe that's how you say that, there's even evidence of this prediction on ancient texts. So there's a whole mythos to this conspiracy. I think the ETs are called Zetas, if I recall. And if all this sounds crazy, well, all of a sudden we have found what looks like a new planet playing Mr. Sneaky behind Pluto. Now, that sounds pretty fucking crazy, too.
I just don't get it. Like, we have fucking telescopes that are all... I mean, like, how could... whoa, it's just hiding. Whoa.
I know. I get that it's out there ways, but
get your shit together, NASA.
We're looking at shit all the time. How do you miss a planet in our own fucking... We're finding planets in other...
I mean, if you think about how big space is, and then you think about the fact that we don't even know what we've mapped, less than a third of the ocean floor, less than that.
Yeah.
Even, right? We don't have any idea
be a planet
what
down
the fuck
there.
is down there. Yeah.
Motherfucker, I can put virtual reality goggles on it and fuck like a donkey if I want to. Why can't NASA get the planets right?
Is that what you're doing with technology over there, Chris? Fucking donkeys, huh? You fucking donkeys. You don't need no $3,000 to do that. I can get your donkey by 6:00 tonight. Right?
You want a straw?
It'll be just like he's in your room. Because he fucking will be. Donkey fucking. Sorry, Lau, you're going to say something?
I was just saying, I was reading an article about how we haven't even really gone past the Earth's crust in drilling.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're not
even close. Isn't that a terrifying... we bring it up all the time on the show, but is that not a terrifying thought? That we have not even... If Earth was an egg, we have never gotten through the shell. That's how much underneath we don't know is. I've been sick, ladies and gentlemen. That was a proper sentence. A lot of shit could be down there, son, and we don't know. This is what drives me fucking crazy about smug scientists. It's like, you're stupid if you think that, because we know it's down there. No, you don't. Have you drilled anywhere near there? You can look at stones. Stones tell you some things. You can look at ribbons in the rock and markings, and you can theorize all you want until we dig a hole down there and see that it is, in fact, a giant ball of fire. You don't fucking know what's down there. It could be dinosaurs and big-titted women, as it always is in my heart. One of the purveyors of the Doomsday Planet X theory, I remember a few years ago, went on some radio station, a pretty big one, and she said that the end was coming, and they were probably just having her on for a bit of a laugh, but she said, this was in the early 2000s, but she said, it's coming. The planet is going to crash into us by the end of this week. So if you have pets, the humane thing to do is put them down tonight. Say goodbye to them. You don't want them going through the flaming terror that awaits us, upright monkeys. And I guess some buttfucks actually did put their pets down that night. Perfectly healthy, beloved pets. They must have felt pretty fucking shitty when they realized that the planet
Boy, the joke was sure on that, wasn't it?
No planet and no dog. You fucking brainless buttfucks. That's what happens when people don't think for themselves. And they, this is there's a lot of cult-like things involved with the whole Planet X movie. Now, some of it is actually really intriguing. Obviously, there might be something to it. If there is a 10th planet out there in our own solar system, and all of a sudden we just are now seeing it, that's it. Some interesting shit. But a lot of cult stuff around. I don't know why so much
electroids.
So much cult activity centers around space. I guess because it's one way. I don't know. You can paint a mythos. You can paint an interesting mythos about your religion, your made up horseshit or whatever. If there's a spaceship coming, that sounds exciting, right? I want to get on a fucking spaceship.
Well, that spans the test of time. I mean, the Mayans, that's what they judged their calendar year was up through space.
Space has stood the test of time. Them stars have been there for a long time, son.
It's the book of knowledge right there. Just look up.
Anywho, also in space news, you remember these super mega alien structures that were discovered way out in space back in September or October? They the way they discovered them, they noticed that a star was dimming oddly, and they believed it it could be because these massive objects were suddenly blocking its view. At the time, the only going theory other than giant spacecraft, and this is from mainstream scientists, was that possibly a massive colony of comets was in the path of our path of the view. Well, they have now said that that's not the case, and they explain why they don't think that's true. But so now we're back on to alien megastructure being the best scientific guess.
Rock on. Well,
I mean, these motherfuckers
didn't work out.
Let's go back to the fucking aliens. These motherfuckers could be on their way. If they were on a direct course with Earth, they would be blocking shit out, right? At least for a while.
Sure.
I mean, the theory doesn't claim that these are coming toward us or even moving, but rather the theory is that these might be in the process of being built and have been being built over centuries. And they're just now starting to affect the way the light of that star, you know, how the light travels so slowly. Some of those stars have burned out, you know, eons ago, they say. So I just love this fucking story, and I love that the more they look into it, the more it gets like creepy. And holy shit, I mean, just the fact that mainstream scientists are even using the word alien megastructures is fucking amazing.
Listeners at home, if you see a follow-up story about this and we don't fucking talk about it, please send it to us, because I want to know what happens with this.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Yeah, and the news that I'm sharing is brand new. I think Jefferson posted that to my page a week ago or so. So that's the latest on it. But SpaceNews.com, by the way, is a great place. That's where I go whenever we should do a space news show. I go there and just load up on stuff. Coast to Coast AM usually keeps up on it, too.
That's so funny, because whenever I need to send you guys stuff, I just go to blackdicks.com.
Yeah, and there you have your pick.
Click on
Let's say, for the listeners that are listening to this, is if you're on the ball, it's Wednesday. On Thursday is the anniversary of the Space Shuttle Challenger blowing up.
Is it? How many years? 30?
1986. So, yeah, 30 years.
That's 30 fucking years. Holy shit.
Do you remember where you were?
Oh, yeah. I was in school.
Me too.
I guess we all would have been. Well, Chris would have been dead.
Yeah.
Wait, were you born?
Isn't that the same year that the Chernobyl thing happened?
I don't know.
What year
was it? Chernobyl's that recent?
I thought it was 86.
It was in the 80s, yeah. I thought it was 83.
We should do a show on that. I'd like to. One thing about these shows that I really have to research is I like learning about them too, you know? I mean, in order for a teacher to teach you something, they got to learn that shit first. And I don't really know a lot about Chernobyl. I've seen so many documentaries about the aftermath and people going back, and oh my God, it's amazing to see those ghosts, you know? Like, it's literally one of those places where you go to a playground, there's like half-melted dolls on the ground and squeaky, rusty swings in the wind, and there's nobody.
There's some really interesting, if I remember correctly, and I might be pulling this out of my ass, there's some really interesting conspiracy theories. I'm drinking wine tonight for the first time in a while, so I'm having fun. Conspiracy theories regarding one of the neighboring countries flying and iodizing the clouds so it would rain before it came to their country and bring the the radiation down onto the Chernobyl, basically. In what's the name? Is it Belarus? Minsk, Belarus? Is that right there too?
I don't know.
I had somebody, like, we had like a transfer student from there, and they told us all these horrible stories.
Boy, that's worth looking into. We'll work on a show for that in the future.
Yeah.
That sounds like some intriguing shit.
It actually did happen the same year. It was in April.
Wow. Year of disasters, 1986.
Yeah. Leslie Nielsen died. Fuck.
Leslie Nielsen died.
I was just reading an article.
Who knew he had 30 years left to live? Say that again, John Mark.
I was just reading an article about some guy who took people into Chernobyl and took pictures and stuff.
Yeah.
And he was like one of the only people that went into the lower level where the elephant's foot, they call it, of that radioactive molten sludge that 11 tons of it that just formed this big thing. And when it first happened, if you stood within 3 feet of it for 2 minutes, you were dead. It was that radioactive.
Jeez.
And he went in there. I don't know when exactly he went in there, but he did go in there. I think it was like 1990. He went in there a few times, and he was one of the only people that got like really close to it and took pictures and stuff.
Yeah.
And there's this really creepy picture I just saw on the internet yesterday of it's like he must have like set up a camera and taken a like a time exposure or something like that, because you can kind of see the ghost of his figure standing in front of it, kind of moving in that weird way.
Yeah.
It's just looking at that shit creeps me the fuck out.
It's an instant. I mean, it's a ghost town by every definition of that term. We'll work on a show for that very soon. Finally, in space news, though, before we get moving on, China has officially set its sights on the dark side of the moon. Now, we've talked about their plans for the moon, but they weren't really detailed plans, but now they plan to land on the poop side of the moon, apparently, sometime in 2018, that close. So I've said it a million times, but I'm really excited for another country to go to the moon for obvious
reasons. To prove
reasons.
It all wasn't a hoax.
Yeah, well, or that it was, but mostly just to see. We haven't seen footage from the moon where, dudes are just walking around looking at shit since the 70s. And to see like some live streaming high definition video of some motherfuckers poking around shit on the moon, I would really watch them shit.
Boner alert.
It could change everything. Yeah, like John Mark mentioned. And, whether or not we went to the moon, we have never seen real-time people fucking about on the moon. I want to see that so bad. Now, 2 years is the projection, and, I've said it all along. If we never went there, we better come clean about them shits before one of these other countries finds out.
Shit.
Yes, we would be the laughing stock of the world for a while, but I think most people would eventually understand why we faked it. It would be laughed off if we admitted it. But if it's found out by another country, especially a communist country, well, that's like going back and losing the Cold War, son. We live in fascinating fucking times. Secrets may be revealed soon. On that same note, I saw an interesting story on Coast to Coast AM today about drone farming. Apparently, farmers are using drones to keep an overhead view on their crops and maybe doing some light dusting in the smaller areas with pesticides, shit like that, and on bigger models. But it's becoming a bigger thing. They're just keeping an eye on crops. It's a lot of these farmers of these big farms have small planes to do that with, and much easier and safer with drones. So it's got people talking about how this will affect crop circles. Like if these fields are now going to be constantly monitored by drones, how will the crop circle makers get away with their art? Assuming, of course, that these are man-made phenomena. But I kind of thought that's an interesting thought. Either these things will eventually be proven to all be man-made, or we may have a chance to see these things forming before our very eyes using some alien technology. Could spell the end of an era or show a glimpse into the true paranormal. But I wonder how the world would react to seeing multiple videos showing these things being formed by, flying saucers or glowing orbs, anything non-man-made.
I'm going to guess not well.
I don't know. I feel like my whole life I've been waiting for one of these fucking mysteries to be proven, not disproven, and it never fucking happens. We either disprove it convincingly or it never gets proven one way or the other. Drones?
What's odd about the whole crop circle thing is that those things remain, right? They still keep appearing, and we still can't prove whether or not it's actually done all by people or not.
Right.
That's the weird thing about it.
Well, there's no crop circle cops that are out there busting people.
Crop circle cops.
Crops.
Bad boys. What you gonna draw?
What you gonna draw with hay and straw? Oh, that's good stuff. Crops. You can just see it. I love drones because they're an endless topic of discussion on all things paranormal, but it's an interesting thing to think about. And, I don't know. There seems to be a type of crop circle that doesn't have the broken straw or hay. That's the big thing that, crop circle investigators will say, well, see how the straw is broken right here? This was a couple dudes with some rope and a board. Yeah. These over here are gently folded, and the crop is not destroyed whatsoever. It's just gently laid over. We don't know how that's done. So, could anybody be making crop circles? Sure. We've seen them made, man-made many times, proven to be man-made many times. Doesn't mean they all are, but crop circles was always something that I was never terribly interested in once I saw some pretty intricate and amazing designs being made very quickly by literally two old guys using what looked like a swing that they cut off at the top of the rope. And I was like, holy shit, look how easy they're making that beautiful. And it looked like a beautiful crop circle. Now, the thing that always makes these interesting is when they are super intricate and they pop up like overnight. Sure. But, you could get 30 of your guys together and go out with some beers and a plan and bust one of these things out. But like I said, and then there's all the stuff with, if you're standing in the middle of a crop circle, a true crop circle, the weather is different, or there's magnetic changes or some shit like that. But who knows? Anyway, legit. That's all I got for space news. What you guys got?
Before we jump out of here, I had a couple of quick Hollywood updates I wanted to bring because I thought they were fucking fascinating. I should have brought them up earlier. I apologize.
Oh, it's it. We're all over the map tonight. It's fine.
A couple of movies that are coming out, and I want to see how you feel about this.
Mm-hmm.
We are going to have a new Big Trouble in Little China. Have we talked about this?
Yeah, with The Rock. I don't know if we talked about it on the show, but we've talked about it.
I just don't know how I feel about this. What do you guys think?
I'll tell you how to feel about it. Thumbs fucking down. Even if it's great, because we don't fucking need it. We have one, and it's fucking brilliant.
Okay.
And it will never.
You can't put that back in. You can't put that back in the bottle.
I'll give you. I'll do you one better. David Bowie, rest in peace. By the way, I fucking cried when he died. We didn't talk. And I had a whole thing that I was going to get into on the show tonight, but I decided not to. It was too sad. I'm a huge fucking David Bowie fan, and if being sick wasn't shitty enough, learning that he died, that was a disappointing day for the roadster. Leah and I are huge David Bowie fans, but David Bowie, rest his soul, is barely fucking cremated, and they're already planning on redoing Labyrinth.
Right?
And this is greenlit. This is not rumor.
Yeah.
So,
who would
again,
Don't tell me. Don't
why?
Tell me.
What I read was that it's actually going to be more of a sequel in a way, but still.
Just let it be. If Bowie was going to be in it, by all means, do a fucking sequel.
Yeah.
The dude's dead. The dude that carried that fucking movie. Let's be honest. There's some great puppets and creatures in that movie. Sarah Connolly was adorable, but she didn't get her acting chops at that point. Some great music provided by David Bowie, but it was all about the Goblin King. It was fucking David Bowie's movie. Well, David Bowie and his bolt. Anyway, so yeah, 2 movies. It's a sickness. I feel like Hollywood, there's a boardroom somewhere in Hollywood, 13 miles below LA, and there's a bunch of evil men that are just like, what do people love? Okay, let's shit on that. Let's shit on that thing that they love. I don't feel like they're just trying to capitalize on nostalgia anymore. It feels offensive to me. It feels like they are actually trying to just give you the middle finger saying, fuck you. You're going to come to this movie. Fuck you.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, anyway.
Okay, well, here's another one. And maybe you'll be more excited. I'm kind of excited for this because it's a movie I love from my childhood that I wished they could expand upon. I felt they could flesh it out so much more. Neverending Story is going to be remade by Peter Jackson.
Well, they did it. Well, they didn't remake it, but there was Neverending 2.
I think there's a 3 as well, straight to video. The kid in the second one killed himself.
Peter Jackson I'm talking about.
Oh, sure, yeah.
Yeah, that's...
To me that's fine because I don't give a fuck about that shit.
Sure.
Yeah.
So he'll probably turn it into a trilogy. I
love that movie, but again, okay, I will give you this. It's been a while since I've seen the Neverending Story. I guarantee if you went back and watched it, it's gonna feel pretty fucking dated. But
yeah,
I don't know that that's always a bad thing, and it's just. Peter Jackson's a brilliant fucking dude. Let's do some stuff we don't have already.
Sure.
We don't need your version of this. It's never better.
Right.
Sometimes
he did King Kong too, and it's like that. So
can you guys think of one? There's got to be something. There's got to be 1 or 2 remakes that were as good or better than the original. But can you guys think of any off the top of your head?
I really liked Evil Dead.
But did you think that was better than Evil Dead 2, which is one of the most classic horror films of all time?
They're different is the thing. I don't feel like they're in the same genres at all.
Precisely. Why not just skew that storyline a little bit and make it not Evil Dead.
Well, maybe he will. Maybe, I mean, like more of an adult version of Neverending Story, you know, like, you know, because it's still a children's story when you go back and watch it.
It's like when Lane Staley died and several years passed and then they got a new singer. Awesome. Don't call it Alice in Chains.
Right.
Call it whatever the fuck you want. Call it Alice. Call it Chains. Call it whatever the fuck you want. It's different now.
Maybe
we
just
have
call
an
it
Alice in Chains.
Move on.
Go ahead, Chris.
Maybe just call it the story that ends in 2.5 hours.
Yes, just call it that. Well, you know, Hollywood does this all the fucking time, though, where they will just take the name, and because they want that recognizability, and then they'll make something that has nothing to do with the original movie or TV show. You know, Land of the Lost was a good. Actually, Land of the Lost is a good example of something that was remade. They remade a piece of shit TV show where the fucking Sleestacks were walking around in PJs and made a hilarious and filthy fucking movie. If you guys haven't seen Land of the Lost with Will Ferrell,
I have seen it, and I actually kind of enjoyed it for what it was.
it's fucking hilarious.
Yeah,
And, you know, and the original show, even if you liked it as a kid, you can't deny that show was a piece of fucking shit.
Oh, yeah.
So that was one that was fair to dig up. But when you're taking something that's a classic, there's a reason they haven't, you know, done... they did do Return to Oz, which is a classic in its own right, but there's a reason that they haven't really gone back to The Wizard of Oz until they finally did the fuck about with...
Yeah.
And look how that went. It was a disaster. It's like a cursed thing to go back to these beloved things that we love so well, because you are being judged on so many levels that you wouldn't be judged if you were just presenting us with something that was brand new.
Sure. There's a two-way street. I mean, when you're redoing something like a project like that, you could either do it verbatim, which I'm not sure if you guys seen the trailer to the new Point Break they're going to make.
Yeah.
Fucking awesome film, dude. As an action film.
Yeah.
Great fucking film, right?
That's a great guilty pleasure movie is what that is.
Yeah.
It's
It
great.
was.
Absolute.
Just
I
a
was
good,
sitting
stupid
there
movie.
watching the trailer for this thing, and the guy goes, "Can't do it, Bodie." And I'm like, "What the? Is this Point Break?" And sure as shit, boom, Point Break. You know, it's like, okay, now that's stepping on toes, dude.
Well, they did Red Dawn. I mean, like...
Have
if
any
you
of us
take
seen the new Red Dawn?
It was terrible. I tried to watch it. I couldn't finish
the
it.
other fork in the road, if you're going to remake something, and if you do it in the same world, you know, but make it better, you know, more power to you. Like the Neverending Story. I mean, if you really think about the movie, it was based on a book that took you to a different universe. Keep the premise, you know. Don't try to fucking make everything, you know, like...
Give some subtle nods, you know, some subtle nods.
I mean, you could throw in some, you know, subtle characters and stuff like that to bring it back to the original.
Yeah.
But don't remake something like that.
My question is it going to open with turn around live your fantasy.
Imagine how badass the Luck Dragon might look, though, in this version. Come on.
I'll tray you. I'm CGI.
Oh, fuck.
Can't look better than the Ridge. And the Rock Biter, I mean, come on. Those are classic fucking puppets.
Yeah.
And they look great because they're real objects.
I'm telling you what, dude, I actually rewatched that like a year ago, and it still holds up.
Oh, it's a great fantasy film, yeah. And it's a great story, you know, about the imagination and how great reading is. And it's awesome.
You remember when we did that stuff? Well, let me try this over again. We did an episode, Ron, where you went over some things that were filmed, like deaths that were filmed live.
Yeah.
Or something. And you covered a story about a journalist that in 1974 killed herself on air.
Yeah.
That is a movie that has been made about her life and up into that moment, basically. And it's coming out shortly. So I thought that was fascinating. I was like, hey, I know that story.
Yeah, I think it was... she did like a talk show, talk show type show. I don't remember the details, but I remember that she meant to kill herself. It wasn't like we talked about some of them that were accidental killings, but yeah, she meant to kill herself and shot herself and immediately started flopping around on the ground. Christ. And everyone started laughing because they thought that she was goofing around.
Yeah.
But no, her body was convulsing to the point that it looked like a bit from Three's Company. So they're all laughing. How's that for disturbing?
No shit.
Now, it was captured on camera, but it never aired. So that the footage is out there. It's just for some reason it hasn't been leaked. As far as I know, unless that's changed,
the family asked for all the footage to be destroyed.
Yeah, this was pre-internet, so if you got the tape, you got the tape.
Yep.
Yeah, interesting.
Crazy.
Wow. Boy, that's an odd
Do you
subject.
have any more remakes?
I'd rather see a movie on Bud Dwyer. Remember that? I had to have talked about that story on the same episode.
Bud Dwyer?
Yeah, Bud Dwyer. He was he was a politician, I think, of some sort, and he was embroiled in scandal or something.
I just thought maybe you developed a speech impediment when we're asking for another beer.
Bud Dwyer.
Bud Dwyer?
No, it was the video's horrible. Don't go looking it up, folks. I know some of you are gonna, but he was some politician, and he walks into this room, and there's he calls
it's like a press conference.
Yeah, press conference, and he's going off and off. I don't remember what he's rambling about. It sounds crazy, and then he pulls like a little, I don't know, 22 snub nose or something. Or maybe it's a big. I don't remember. It didn't seem like it was that big of a gun, and then he's like,
big enough.
He's like, "Good night, folks," and then he puts it in his mouth, and a surprisingly small amount of blood comes out the top of his head, and he just falls. And the camera zooms in, and it's like, did that just happen? And you just see blood pumping out of his fucking skull. Very troubling. That was one of the first death videos I ever saw, but it was a famous one, Bud Dwyer. I remember when I first got online, some sicko started BudDwyer.com, and all it was selling T-shirts and mugs with an image of Bud Dwyer as the bullet was coming out of his skull. It's like, people are fucked up. Bud Dwyer. Rest his soul.
My last piece of Hollywood news here. Ridley Scott claims Alien Covenant will receive a hard R rating. I'm excited about that.
It's about fucking time. That's my other problem. Remake all you want, as long as you give it a hard R.
Yeah, this is going to take 10 years after the last movie, Prometheus, and it's going to have a hard R rating, which kind of excites me. I like it when they, try not to squeeze it into PG-13 to somewhere.
Oh, God, I'm so fucking sick to death of PG-13.
Right?
That's why over the last 10...
happened to film.
That's why over the last 10 years, Steven Spielberg that got PG-13 made. Did you know that? I think, wasn't it Indiana Jones?
Gremlins.
Was it Gremlins?
Yeah.
I know it was the PG-13. All this shit's so made up anyway, but the whole PG-13 craze of horror movies is why I got into Japanese horror about 10 years ago, because there's nothing satisfying about American horror movies anymore. It's all boo and loud noises and quick camera pans and and then all of a sudden they're dead. It's like, really?
I think that's what I appreciated about the Evil Dead remake, because it didn't pull any punches.
Oh, I was squirming in my chair. We all went and saw that together. Chris, I don't think you were with us, were you?
Every time you say that, my soul bleeds a little bit. You say it a lot.
Oh, sorry. That was a fun fucking movie.
We all went and did that fun thing together. Oh,
yeah, right. It was. I forgot how fun it is to go to the movies with a bunch of your friends. Yeah. It's a different thing when you go with like a row of your buddies. And I haven't done that probably since the fucking 90s. Should do that more often. It's not a hard thing to do. But yeah, there was some shit in that movie. Was like, no, they're not going to go there. They don't do that in movies anymore. Oh. Yeah. Well,
that remake that they're talking about doing, and it is greenlit, is they're going to redo The Crow. And
for a while.
Yeah.
Well, is that, with the whole Brendan Lee thing, it's kind of like you just don't want to touch it. It's like remaking a Bruce Lee film, Why would you do, when they already I think there's like 3 movies. There's the original something
City of Angels.
Yeah, City of Angels, and then there's another one, and then they actually did a TV show.
Yeah, like a WB TV show or something, wasn't it?
Yeah, so I just don't understand why they want to do that, but it's greenlit, so
they want to do it because they want to go with something that was successful once. That's all Hollywood
who cares
is
about The Crow anymore?
I do.
Who cares? Well,
still great.
I want to know what.
It's not a relevant property.
You know who I'd like to see actually touch that is Rob Zombie. I'd love to see a Rob Zombie Crow. You think how brutal that would be? A revenge story.
That could be interesting.
That would be a revenge story. Yeah, because he would draw that first, I don't know, what 10 minutes of that movie out to an hour. Yeah. Rape and murder of his. You know what I mean?
Oh. You'd see. What is it? Cherie Moon get raped in the first 10 minutes.
Fuck! See, this should be a thing.
Yeah, that's true. But I always go back to the same thing. What are we being robbed of that's fresh and creative and brand new?
Exactly.
There's no story that hasn't been told, but there's new scripts that haven't been made into fucking films, and new properties and new...
Shit, there's even stuff that exists that hasn't been made into film yet that would be amazing. amazing that they could do now.
Well, what if instead of letting George Lucas do Star Wars, what if they said, actually what we'd like you to do is remake The Body Snatchers? Or, instead of Spielberg doing E.T., they wanted to remake the classic black and white Thing. It's like, what if all of these people weren't allowed to make their original ideas, we wouldn't have the shit that we're ripping off now. It's like, why don't you think about the beautiful thing that is creativity and the newness of creativity. That's what's challenging as an artist, is coming up with some new shit and not getting stuck in your own ruts. Hollywood has been stuck in its own ass for the last 20 fucking years. And what's funny is that 90% of these franchise reboots don't do well. So I don't understand. They don't have it's not like they can point to, well, look, that made $100 million. No, exactly. You fucking tanked them shits, and now people are afraid of anything to do with that franchise.
I wonder if it's some sort of Uwe Ball tax shelter bullshit. That whole thing, like he was talking about how he makes those horrible movies because it's like a tax write-off thing in Germany, that they make those like really crappy like typing of the Dead style movies, just that utter shit, because it's like a tax write-off for somebody, or they can get some grant money from the government to do something like that, and that's why they make those films.
Or somebody sucking the right dick.
I wonder if that's kind of what they're doing with all these remakes, where it's like just basically some sort of weird tax loophole write-off thing.
I wouldn't be surprised if it was the corporations, if fucking Hasbro or Mattel or whoever is selling all the fucking toys and, the bullshit that comes along with these well-known movies, whoever is making millions off of those, because even if a movie tanks, there's lots of money to be made in the marketing of that movie, even before it's ever released.
Right.
So I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of those corporations are the ones that are saying, this is your fucking movie right here. You go make them shit, son. Because we can sell that for Christmas. Fucking depressing.
We'll make a profit on this.
Hollywood used to be so fucking daring. It sounds crazy to say that now. But going back in like pre-code Hollywood, there's a reason that some Puritans decided that we needed a fucking code. It's because shit was getting fucking edgy and dark and violent and sexual. And then someone came along and said, no, this is naughty. And started putting ratings on shit and code. Well, first it was the code, and then it was the MPAA, which if you guys have never seen the documentary, I think it's called Rated R. It's all about the MPAA and the rating system. It is so fucked and retarded how it works. It's so political, and it means absolutely nothing. And it will talk about, I think, the PG-13 rating and all that. Well, it covers everything. But it's fucking fascinating, and I think it's on Netflix. But also, a Netflix reminder, they are getting rid of all Doctor Who episodes on Netflix mid-February. So if you're marathoning them shits, better get caught up.
Step your game up.
Mm-hmm.
Put that sonic screwdriver right up your butt and get going.
Oh, that had to feel interesting. Boy, there's got to be Doctor Who porn out there where sonic screwdrivers are doing their thing.
It's called Dr. Pooh.
Dr. Spew.
I sent you guys over a photo earlier. That is new Billy the Kid photo, they believe, has surfaced.
Another,
and this was bought for $10 at a rummage sale. The guys had it forever.
That looks like him.
Yeah, so it's been analyzed at the press, but they think it's him, and they think it's worth a lot too.
That is crazy, because we just did an episode on Billy the Kid a few months back, but the reason we did that was because they found what at the time was the second known photograph of Billy the Kid.
Yeah.
So this could be the third. Unbelievable.
Yeah, it's pretty impressive. I think that's neat stuff.
Who's this gang that he's with? Is that thought to be his?
I think they call him Posse.
The young guns.
They think it might be. They're not really sure yet. They're still analyzing. They're analyzing at the press.
God, it's crazy. It's 2015. Where does shit hide? Where do fucking Billy the Kid photos in planets in our own solar system hide all this fucking time? What the fuck are we doing? We gotta be looking at shit.
In the attic.
We gotta be looking for stuff. No one, very few people go exploring anymore, you know? Yeah. I remember as a kid, we used to go climbing into old abandoned buildings, and I was over at my brother's house not that long ago, and he lives in a neighborhood. I don't live in a neighborhood. There's very few houses around me. My brother lives in a classic neighborhood. You can tell there's swing sets and toys in the yard and everything. We were over there, and it was snowing. It snowed about a half a foot, and still snowing. And it was like a Saturday night. And I looked out the window, and there was nobody anywhere. I was like, when I was a kid, and it had snowed 6 inches, and it was a Saturday night, we would have been out there making igloos, making snowman, going sledding, playing non-fucking stop, scrogging, crawling into abandoned warehouses and finding bums porn. People, it's like, do kids not go outside anymore?
Nope.
Is that a stupid thing to say? I guess I'm just now waking up to this, that it was eerie. I was like, there is not a soul. I went outside and I looked up and down the street. I didn't hear any laughter. It wasn't dark. It was like, 2 or 3 in the afternoon. There was nobody. And I was like, the kids are just all inside, either playing video games or looking at their phones, or they all got iPads now, or something. They all got fucking something that they're staring at. Insane.
You sound so fucking old right now, dude.
I understand that I sound old.
They got these iPods or something and video games and hula hoops. Jesus Christ.
I feel old when I look. I feel like I'm in a fucking Twilight Zone dimension when I look outside and there's no children playing anywhere. The only time I ever see kids outside is when they got a backpack on and they're coming to or from the school bus. It's the only time you ever see kids outside. It's creepy. There's fucking Billy the Kid photographs out there, son.
Get them shits.
Get inside and work on your typing. You're going to be my ticket.
Quiz here.
Yeah, let's do this news quiz. Lyle, John Mark, did you have anything real quick before we get on?
I don't have anything of note, really.
Okay.
I had a funny thing. Remember Ken Ham? He's the guy that went like toe to toe with Bill Nye the Science Guy with like religion and shit.
Oh yeah. That was sad.
Creationist. Right now, I guess he's trying to build a replication of the Ark. Right?
Mm-hmm.
You want to know what the price tag is on this?
Let's hear it.
$101 million.
$101 million.
Mm-hmm. Well, the thing is,
how much did Noah's cost?
Oh, God, who knows? Ask God. Anyway,
it was free. He just chopped all that shit down and put it together himself.
He did it with his own hands, like a man, son.
A man would do.
You fucking pussy. If you're gonna be doing this bullshit, go out in the goddamn forest, cut the fucking trees down, and build a fucking ark. You don't raise money to fucking build an ark. You build a fucking ark.
Well, no. So here's the thing. This is the hilarious thing. And I read this and I just assumed that he's just being fucking weird. Like the end times. He's gonna build an ark and who knows what he's gonna do with it. That's when I first, looked at the story. I just assumed that's what it was, but it's not. He's actually trying to make a theme park.
Oh. Okay, well, then you can raise your funds.
well, the funny thing is...
I'll put in $10 for that Kickstarter.
Well, that's the deal. He wants the people of Kentucky to at least pick up like 0.25% of it. Well, and he wants to do it like out of sale taxes and revenue.
Yeah, just go make your theme park like everyone else does. But listen, if he creates a zoo on a boat where there's 2 of every animal on the planet, I'll buy a ticket to them shits.
A couple of dinosaurs.
I'll walk through a fucking boat that has every species on the planet. That's the story, folks. Every species on the planet.
Yeah, and dinosaurs and humans were like together, so they've got to have dinosaurs on there.
Yeah, the Bible's not clear on dinosaurs, is it? Or is it?
No, well, no.
It doesn't really mention them at all, I don't think.
Doesn't it? I thought it did.
I don't think it does.
Well, no, it's his belief that dinosaurs and man inhabited the planet at the same time.
I've heard that belief.
6 days, whatever.
It's the young Earth theory. A lot of religious people have the young Earth theory.
Yeah, there's certain people that believe that, but I don't believe that they're mentioned at all.
Yeah, maybe I'm wrong on that. I was watching a little video on some crazy bitch that was doing some, I don't know if it was based on religion or not, but it was one of these dino deniers saying that the fossils are all, just like props that have been made by men, liars, that these archaeologists are all liars and conspiracy theorists or conspiracy players to trick people away from God. I don't know what the idea is. But
yeah, it's just like another trick of the devil.
Dino deniers. Maybe we'll do a story on those folks. Maybe we should find one of these people.
I just want to see that woman get eaten by a dinosaur.
Well, she did this weird... And it was half of it was a decent presentation, then half of it was like, wait, what? But she like basically crumbled up a bunch of plaster and then made it into a pile on her desk and said, okay, You're an archaeologist, all right? I want you to take this pile and make it into a dinosaur. There, I proved my point.
Boom. Mic drop.
Did you? Did you, though? You proved a point. We now know where to put you. But maybe I should try to find this girl and get her on the show. You know, we wouldn't mock her. I'd be genuinely curious to hear her sincere pitch as to why dinosaurs don't exist. I would find that fascinating, if only on a "what the fuck is the matter with you" level. But I would, I wouldn't harp on her. I would definitely have some evidence to throw her way. But anyway, let's get on to some.
I would have fun reading that bitch news quiz. I'll tell you what.
Poor girl.
Question 1.
We all have our beliefs.
Today walked across the.
Nope, bullshit. Prove it. Throws a beer bottle. Turn that into a Tyrannosaurus Rex.
Nah.
Boom. Mic drop. Science. It's fun. It's got to be fun to be batshit. Because fuck everybody, right? Fuck everything and everybody if you're batshit.
Let's just be batshit from here.
Why aren't we all just crazy? What a world it would be if we were all literally crazy. Like if we were all just living on the fucking street, throwing poop, pulling our hair out, fucking everything that moved crazy.
Licking our faces like Miley Cyrus.
I wonder if eventually we'd like evolve into let's get all the crazy people, throw them on an island, set up cameras. Now that's a fucking reality show that I would tune into every week.
That's entertainment.
I'd subscribe to the live feeds on Crazy Island. All right, let's move on to News Quiz.
Awesome. All right, you guys are just playing for honor tonight. No prizes for fans this week.
Honor, huh? All right.
Playing for honor.
I like it.
Honor.
I'll try.
Ron, you're going to go first. Lyle, you'll be second. And John Mark, you'll be last.
Damn it.
I have to go grab a cough drop real quick. I'll be right back.
Grab it.
Have you guys noticed this new trend about underboobs and fucking how people are like putting the pens? They're taking selfies of like just objects under boobs.
Yep. Thank God for America and technology. And
I'm sorry, but that's kind of like one of my favorite things in the world.
We're so easily entertained.
We're guys. I love it.
Yeah.
Too bad Ronnie missed it.
Well, we'll hear it later.
Right?
Hey, how do I get The Witcher 2? I can't remember how to get to my 360 on my one.
Do you have your 360 still?
Yeah, I do, but I like to rather play it on the one.
Oh, wow.
Controller's nicer, and it's just easier. There's a way to do it.
I don't know.
John, what are you talking about? Getting your saves or getting your
The
games?
Witcher 2 right now is free to download until next month on the 360.
So you can play it on your one, in theory, when you have the... I just can't remember how to get to the damn OS. I did it in the... You know, do you have a one yet, John Mark? You ready?
I do, but I haven't really messed around with it that much. I'm just playing The Witcher 3 on it, but I haven't really messed with the OS or anything.
Okay, dude. Next month, Rocket League is dropping for the Xbox. You've got to get that. It's so fucking fun. Have you guys played... Lyle, have you played Rocket League yet?
They have it for Steam, yeah. I don't own it. I've watched.
It's so fun. Get it.
What is it?
You're like an RC car, but it's like soccer, but you like an RC car and you just kind of run around and try to make goals.
It's the most on its basic. I've played hours of it. Let me tell you, on the basic level, it's why you played video games as a kid with your friends. Sure. When you get into a game of that, it's magic. I have not experienced that kind of video game magic since I was a child.
I'll check it out.
It's really good.
I'm going to leave that one in. I usually cut. Oh, it's funny. Every time I get up to go do something, it goes instantly to video game talk. I usually cut it out just because
about underboobs.
But I'm going to leave it in because I'm sure some folks out there will like it. Anywho, awesome. Let's move on to some quiz.
All right. I started writing this as a Spanish man, and then I realized I start that way too often. A Japanese man, a Mexican man. So we're starting it with...
You do. It's funny.
Question 1. A man in Spain.
Yeah, that's very,
he's being taken to court. Yeah, he's being taken to court for his part in a practical joke that went wrong over the holiday season 2 years ago. Now, the man, he hopped a fence to a nativity display and did this. Is it A, pooped on baby Jesus?
Ooh.
Oh, baby Jesus.
It's only downhill from here, guys. I got to be honest. Is it B, pretended to have relations with the Virgin Mary?
Oh. Boy, I bet that's a fetish.
Down
I
by
bet fucking the Virgin Mary is a fetish.
Or
right?
is it C?
It has to be.
Yeah.
He sat on a live donkey, causing its insides to explode out.
Read it again.
Or is it C? He sat on a live donkey, causing its insides to explode out.
Wow.
Ronster.
That is wacky. And full circle on the donkey talk tonight. So I feel like it's got to be C.
You're going with the exploding donkey.
No, wait a minute.
Is it real?
Damn it. Fuck it. I'm the worst at this. It's not an exploding donkey. All right, well, I'm going with it. I'm sticking to my guns.
Or Lyle, excuse me.
All things in nature are square, even raindrops.
Well, fuck you.
I'm gonna say it's like, hey baby, what you doing tonight? Looks awful cold outside. We need a little bit of loving down by the fire.
Relations with the
A little, yeah, deep down inside her, if you know what I'm saying.
Oh my God!
Wait, you going with the virgin or the baby? When you said, hey, baby, I thought you were going with Jesus. But...
No, I don't know what. It's
Okay, we're going with the solid and lousing. John Mark?
The first one was the poop, right?
Yeah.
I'm going with that.
Fuck. Now I feel real good about my exploding donkey.
Question 2. A thief was recently caught on a surveillance camera at a pet store in Portland trying to steal this animal by concealing it here. Is it A? He put a very large tarantula in his mouth.
Ooh. Hell.
Is it B? He stuffed a 2-foot-long python down his pants.
We've all done
was
that.
it? Was it a Saturday night?
It had to be partially enjoyable for a while.
What part of that is... Oh, okay. Or C? He stuffed a live hamster up his anus.
Ooh. Well, good in theory, rough in practice.
What are you going with, Ronster?
Oh.
Tarantula? No?
I feel
Snake
like
in
the
the hand?
hamster's too... on the nose isn't the right phrase. Too in the butt. Yeah. I'm going to go with snake down the trousers. Trouser snake.
Trousers, all right. Lyle?
I think it's a good conversation starter. It's just like, hey, have you seen my trouser?
Have you seen my trouser snake? You unzip it and a little head comes out.
Yeah.
Let's put it up fucking fires all over town. Have to see my trousers.
if that doesn't get the chick, then
Yeah,
nothing
right.
will.
I was gonna say trousers,
She just stuck up. That's all.
snake, but yeah.
Have you seen my
My
trousers?
trouser. Oh my God! Put on some pants.
Please, for the love of God,
Something
the cover photo of this fucking episode. Have you seen my trouser flyer? Oh,
Good
shit.
stuff.
Okay, sorry.
Moving on.
John Mark,
I'll go with the snake as well.
the game here. All right. Question 3, Florida Daily Dubs.
Ding, 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 ding.
John Mark.
You know, we're doing this every week. We should have our shit down by now. Sometimes we nail it.
Sometimes. A man was arrested in Florida for outstanding warrants after he saw the local police department putting his photo up and information about his crime on social media. He reached out to them to do this. It ended up getting him caught. They saw their post on Facebook about him and reached out to them to do this.
Okay.
Was it A, correct their grammar in their Facebook post?
Oh, yeah.
Was it B, unsatisfied with the mugshot they were using, he sent them a better selfie?
That should be a service. And doesn't everybody win?
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Or is it C, left a comment on the Facebook post letting the ladies know he was still single?
All right.
Oh, I'm going to go with B.
Sent in a new mugshot.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fair.
Got to be
Lie.
able to. As long as it's a clear shot of you.
Right?
Lie.
I'm gonna have to say, if you're somebody kind of that vain enough to even acknowledge anything to do with your arrest, it's probably gonna be that. Yeah.
Okay.
There is nothing
Okay.
that people won't share on Facebook. or Instagram.
That's fair.
Because it's content. We talk about it all the time. We need content. We must constantly keep our appearance on social media, because we think that we have followers that give two shits about us. And we don't. But we still live our lives online as if we have to keep up appearances. So, yeah, there's nothing that we won't share.
John Mark?
I'll say B as well, the mugshot picture thing.
Perfect.
That'd be a close
All right.
game.
Couple of questions left here. A question for Kourtney Kardashian put up a video tutorial recently that she has dubbed as life-changing. Now, in this video, she shows you in 6 simple steps how to do this and claims you will never look back. It's going to change your life. What's her video tutorial about? Is it A, how to eat a Kit Kat bar?
Oh, I'd watch her eat a Kit Kat. I always thought she was the cutest Kardashian, honestly.
Kourtney?
Yeah. I think she's cute.
B, how to apply deodorant?
I'd watch her put on deodorant.
Oh my God. You are the problem. You are the fucking problem.
I don't watch, man. I would learn. I'd watch her wipe her ass, front to back.
What is it? Jesus Christ. What does it see? How to peel a banana?
Oh, yeah.
All right, Ron.
Okay. Well, all fair. I think I'm going to go with C. I mean, that seems a bit obvious, I guess, but the Kardashians are obvious people.
Lyle?
Yeah, I'm going to go with C also. A little transparency there. It's going to get more hits, I'm going to tell you.
Yeah.
If it's a YouTube video, it's going to get...
Turning me on about the idea of watching a girl put on deodorant, though. I guess because that's an intimate thing. Like, when do you see a girl put on deodorant except when, you're like pissing while she just got out of the shower, getting ready for work? Some kind of intimate about that. That's one of those behind-the-scenes things where you only see, girls you're fucking doing shit like that.
Huh. Okay.
It's hot. I might have an armpit fetish now that I think about it. Moving on.
Sure, Mark.
I'm going to go with the banana.
The banana.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Last question here. This band is going to stretch their arms beyond music and are launching a video game called Legacy of the Beast. Who are we talking about here? Is it A, Iron Maiden?
Mm-hmm.
That's so fucking awesome.
Is it B, Tenacious D?
Oh, boy.
He's got a video game out of it.
Instantly got tough.
Kind of.
Or is it C, Creed?
Can you take me higher?
The gates of hell wide open. Here comes that flaming beast with his pitchfork.
Tell me you wouldn't play the shit out of
I would play a Creed video
game. The Dragon, like for 99 cents on your phone.
Scott Stapp Goes to Hell. I'd play that fucking game. Oh, Satan.
Sounds like a good premise for a movie.
I'm coming to get you, Satan.
Oh shit!
That comet was close. You could do all the fucking his one attack is him standing up looking at the sky with his arms wide open. Like shoots a fucking rainbow at the fucking devil. Yeah, I'd play that shit. Well, I'm gonna go with A because when I hear the word the Beast and any band, you got to go with Maiden. And they've done some video games, but they've been pretty terrible, and they're like CDR games, or CD-ROM or whatever.
Lyle?
My heart of hearts, I want it to be A. You just like to verse Eddie fucking doing awesome shit.
Yeah, to play as Eddie. Like, what'd be awesome is if you played as Eddie through the albums.
Yes.
Like you start off as Killer's Eddie, or Iron Maiden Eddie, of course, and through Killers, and then you become.
The soundtrack was the album.
Oh. Well, that was the premise of Ed Hunter.
Yeah, and was it?
Yep.
Yeah, but it kind of sucked, all right.
You play. The levels the environments are supposedly based off of those different album covers. Yeah, it totally sucked.
Side scroller that shit, dude. Could you imagine like somewhere in time, like Eddie, in a futuristic fucking.
It'd be pretty easy to do it, at least well, and fun. But anyway,
I'm gonna go with Tenacious D.
Going with Tenacious D.
There was a heavy metal video game that Jack Black did the voicing for and the music.
Brutal Legend.
Brutal Legend.
Brutal Legend. How was that one? That looked awesome.
It had Ozzy.
It's pretty good. It's weird. It's a weird game. It was interesting.
The creator of that, the one that did Black and White and...
It was a Double Fine, I think.
The guy that did it was...
It was Double Fine.
Tim something.
Tim something.
Yeah.
I can't remember. Yeah.
Tim of Legend on Instagram or Twitter.
John Mark?
I'm going to go with Iron Maiden, of course.
Gotsta. All right, let's go over the answer, see how you gents did here. Question 1, a man in Spain is being taken to court for his part in a practical joke that went wrong over the holiday season 2 years ago. The man hopped a fence. He was kind of a hefty dude. Decided to sit on the fucking donkey, and it collapsed under him.
Holy shit.
Fucking exploded. And donkey and left. Yeah, it was not good.
This broken clock is right. Twice a day, ladies and gentlemen. Twice a day. The fucking donkey. Show. Holy shit.
Yeah, Ron got that correct. Swinging from stars.
Wow. I don't even know how to feel about that. The donkey exploded.
Yeah.
Ew. Fucking ooh, son. Can you imagine having an exploded donkey on you? And knowing that you done that?
I mean, I've seen it in VR.
Oh, you exploded on the donkey. That's different.
Question 2.
That reminds me of the Clerks 2. Oh, shit, it's the cops. Oh, gotta finish.
Best line of that whole movie.
If you haven't watched it, you have to watch it just for that scene. Anyway.
Question 2. A thief was recently caught on surveillance camera at a pet store in Portland trying to steal a 2-foot-long python by shoving it down his trousers.
Oh, shit. I'm good so far.
Ron, Lyle, and John Mark all got that correct.
Trouser snake.
Question 3. The Florida Daily Dubs.
Off our game. This is what happens when you miss 2 weeks.
Yeah. A man was arrested in Florida for outstanding warrants when he saw police posting about him. He left a comment and said, hey, that's a really shitty mugshot. Let me give you a more smooth one.
Nice.
It's so fucking ridiculous. So yeah. And he was,
you should have sent him one with his cat and lasers.
That would have been incredible. Holy shit. You all got 2 points for that. So, quick update here. Ron has 4 points, Lyle has 3, and John Mark has 3. Close game.
Nice, yeah. It's going to be a close game, I think.
It is indeed. Okay, question 4. Kourtney Kardashian put up a video tutorial recently that she has dubbed as life-changing. In the video, she shows you in just 6 simple steps how to eat a Kit Kat bar.
Oh, damn.
Yeah.
No one guessed that, though,
correct.
Right? Good.
No one got that.
Good. I'll watch that later. Oh, I'm not in love with the girl. I find, of all the Kardashians, I actually find her to be the cutest. Yeah, well, that's how I feel about all of them.
Okay. I didn't know what
I'm not a Kardashian fan.
The proper response to that is, so. Well, sir.
It's cool.
This band is going to stretch their arms beyond music and are launching a video game called Legacy of the Beast. We are indeed talking about Iron Maiden.
Oh,
nice.
Yes.
It's going to be a good...
I guess you were going to trick us with wordplay there, didn't you? Stretch their arms wide open.
Anyways.
So what's the story? Like a full-on... play it on your Xbox video game, right? Not like something.
No, it's a mobile game. It's on your phone or iPad.
Oh,
it's an RPG.
Huh. Yeah.
See, John Mark knows more than I do.
Yeah.
Boom. I guess it's going to be.
Think you
do funding for it though.
Yeah, I think you do. I think you will play as Eddie throughout the album ages.
Yeah, I'd like to. That has to be
mobile RPG format.
Even if it was already done, it needs to be redone well. So that's good. Yeah. That's a great fucking character. And for any people who aren't Maiden fans, just Google Iron Maiden album covers. It will look like video games at different levels. You know, well, here's the sci-fi level. Here's the level in hell. Here's the level in the streets of London. Here's the mystical over the sea level. It's good shit.
Yep. So let's see. That leaves Ron with 5 points, Lyle with 3, and John Mark with 4. Good job. Look at you coming off the king here after your little sabbatical, Ron.
Yeah, well, I always win when it's not for somebody else, I've noticed. When it's for my glory, I take it home.
I'm going to just tell you every time. It's just for you. I'll whisper.
Ron, always for me. This one's for you.
Nice job, guys.
Good stuff. Well, that was a fun episode. It's fun to get caught back up. It seems like it's been a fucking month.
Yeah.
Been half a month since we done this. Well, We're on at bournefilms.com, the spacepod.yuku.com. We haven't been plugging this for a while, getting people to send in voicemails. We got a couple great voicemails, and then never again. And I don't understand it because I say it all the time. I listen to so many podcasts where people leave voicemails, and like they're running. They're like they become part of the show where you just look forward to that caller calling in, especially the B-Movie cast. Those listeners call in, and they do like mini podcasts. They got like stories. I don't care if it has nothing to do with what we're talking about. Just call in. If you got a little quirky little story, record it somehow and then email it to us. Also, if you have stories that you want to tell on the show, send us an email. There's lots of kooky little stuff that I know you guys are just dying to share with us. Other than that, let's get on out of here.
Sounds good, guys.
Next week, 9/11. Can't believe it's finally happening.
Yes. Waited my whole life for this.
I had the time of my life.
Oh, Ron's going to do the lift for me.
What, the lift? Oh, where I pick you up.
Yeah.
For some reason, I was thinking vocal lift. It's like,
oh my God.
He means going to the chick part.
As I just come storming at you with my arms open wide. Here we go.
I'm so weak right now for being sick. That would be a fat guy on a donkey experience. No offense. It says more about my muscles than your weight. Trust me.
The ronky.
Oh, the ronky. Why is that so funny? I don't know what's going to happen, ladies and gentlemen, but there will be something to do with a ronky in our future. We'll find a way of making the ronky part of the Ew, maybe not. All right, see you guys next week.
Good night.
Bye.
The ronky.
Motherfucker, I can put virtual reality goggles on it and fuck like a donkey if I want to. Why can't NASA get the planets right?